Hey, everybody. What is going on? I hopefully we'll have some folks come in today. Um, it's funny. I just come down here to my room and picked up some things and brought my new chair in here that I got for Christmas. It's much more comfortable than my old chair. And I was getting ready to start this stream, and the historic newspapers that I use to do all this research, they're not on the website anymore. So I had to call the library and figure out what happened. And now they must be trying to reboot the server or something because it's not even loading now. I'm going to try restarting my computer to see if that makes any difference. Although I just started it up when I came down here, so. But what I have is I've got a flash drive that was given to me by a friend of mine who's the president of the Genealogical Society here in Midland. And he gave me a copy of this flash drive. I don't know, probably about 6 months ago. It was when the weather was warm, anyways. And this flash drive has tons of good information on it. It's got obituary index, I think, is one of the things that I'm going to start using to do my research. I don't know what year it goes back to. I was looking at it the other night, and it has a lot of good information that I think is going to help me a little more with my research. Maybe it will help to cut down on the amount of time. Oh yeah, 1872 to 1927, which is like exactly the time range that I want to be in. But it lists it by last name. And I'm actually doing this live stream from my phone because I think that my phone has a better camera than my laptop, and it's got a better camera than the external camera that I bought that is pretty much garbage. So I'm not going to be able to share my screen with you, but what this does is it goes by last name alphabetically, and it has, let's see, so it has last name, first name, birth year, birth date, death year, or death date, I guess, what newspaper the obituary was listed in, what year it was listed in, and then, well, actually, what date it was listed in. It's weird how they got this listed. It says paper year, then paper month, day, and page. So that makes it quite a bit easier. And then over here on the side, it has comments. And the comments are like, this says wife and child survived. So that one is interesting to me because it sounds like maybe there was a fire, or maybe a car accident. Of course, we're talking 1907, so probably not a car accident, but maybe a horse and buggy crash. So I'm going to write that down. Oh, well, let's just kind of, oh, no, that's not what that means, because right below it is his obituary in the other newspaper. So right at the same time, there was two newspapers. One was called the Midland Republican, and the other one was called the Midland Sun. And they both reported the same stories a lot of times, and it's very interesting the difference that you can get from one paper to the other on the same story. But this says that he died of lockjaw, and then the one above that says wife and child survived, which means that he had a wife and child that survived him. So that's sometimes these comments can be a little bit interesting, but like this one here, this next one down, George Abbey. There's a memorial this one's a memorial service on the 26th of November, 1891. And then the two below that are 11/19/1891. So that's probably his obituary or death notice. So I'm just going to be going through these and kind of trying to find ones that look like maybe there was an accident, maybe a fire or struck by lightning or something like that. You know, I just went today and filmed the rest of a piece about a lady that was struck by lightning in her home, inside her home, and she was struck by lightning. So I was actually came down here and I was going to find that paper and do the voiceover and for the video, and the system is down, so I won't be doing the voiceover until the system comes back up. So let's see. So I'll look down here. This one says died in Saginaw. It's 1923. I try as best I can to stay respectful to the people that are descendants of these people. You know, I'm trying to do stories on people that maybe died before 1925 or so, because really now there's not anybody alive that's going to remember those people, and I try to stay respectful, and that way this is kind of a I don't know, I want to say kind of a taboo subject, definitely, in that a lot of people probably don't understand why somebody would want to highlight deaths, you know, but to me, it's interesting. It's somewhat amazing how some things happened back then. And to me, it sparks an interest in people that are not only interested in death and dying, cemetery type stuff, but it also interests people in local history, which is very interesting to me. And in fact, the story that I did today is actually, I was researching my family in this area, and I was indexing papers for their names and stuff. And my grandpa told me a story about this guy named Floyd Nicolai, who taught my second great grandfather how to play violin. And when I was looking up information on him, I found this story about his mother, and that's the story that I did today, which I will be posting later on, if I can find the newspaper article, because I got to do that voiceover. So the database right now for the newspapers is down, really kind of upsetting, but I did call the library, and they're working on it. So I'm gonna see what they can do to get it fixed. So My dog is down here being a pest right now. She won't just lay down. She's got to be petted all the time. All right. Okay, go lay down. Go lay down. You're not getting up in this chair with me. I can tell you that right now. Don't even look at me with those eyes. What? What? No, you're not coming up here. You're not. No. No. You're not. You're not coming up here. I can sit in this chair all by myself. I don't think so. Another interesting thing too is I kind of am going to start looking up information on some of these folks that died a long time ago that don't have death dates on their headstones. I found one last year in the summertime. The lady was born in like 1857 or something like that. And she's got no death date on her headstone. I would assume that she probably died in the 1920s or 30s, but no death date. Very interesting. Wonder if anybody's going to join us here. So far, I think I've been sitting here talking to myself. For whatever reason, I made this live stream like 2 hours ago. And for some reason, maybe it's because it's Friday that people aren't seeing it, but YouTube doesn't send out notifications to people apparently when I go live. So it's very frustrating, because I'm not going to sit here and talk to nobody for very long. But hopefully some people will start strolling in here pretty quick, and otherwise I'm just going to shut the live stream down and I'll do my own research all by myself. Yeah, see, now this is an interesting one. It says drowned young man, September of 1883, unknown atoms. What are you supposed to do with that? Oh, you got a notification today. Good. Yeah, I made the announcement like almost 2 hours ago. So, but I don't know. Did you hear that the newspaper database is down? So I actually came in here to do the voiceover for the Struck by Lightning video that I started, and I can't do it because I don't have the newspaper article to look at. I called the library and they're gonna look into it. But, okay, so here I'm looking at this flash drive that I have, and my wife there, Cassie, will know what I'm talking about. This obituary index. I'm just gonna go down through here and I'm gonna start writing down some names. Yeah, bummer. Write down some names of people that have accidental type deaths here, and then when the newspaper thing comes back up, then I'll be ready to roll. Nothing edited. What up, cuz? Welcome. Thanks for coming. I'm just doing some research here, looking at the obituary index. This covers 1872 to 1927, and this is going to make my research much easier for the accidental death videos. And I just found one right here. It says Ross Albee, hunting accident, 1907. So that's going to be an interesting story. 1907. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to do today. Is I was going to look in the newspapers and stuff, and I went to log on and they're gone. So I had to call the library and see what the heck's going on with that. And, they're looking into it. So I should do this stream on my laptop so I can do a screen share and show you guys what I'm looking at here. Let me see what I got, what I can do here. StreamYard. I am not too far off of hitting my 1,000 subscribers. So I should be able to stream on the YouTube platform soon, maybe. Oh, I bet you. I went to my email. Jeez. Okay. I am going to leave the studio right now on my phone. I'm going to get logged into StreamYard on my laptop so I can screen share so you guys can see what the heck I'm doing. Sound good? Capiche? Stick around. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. This camera is like way worse. The lighting's terrible. So let's see. Let's screen share. That's not what I want. Share screen. There we go. Ah, dog. Dog, get out of here. Go lay down somewhere. Jeez. Okay, now you can see this, huh? Now I'm gonna have to bring the stream up on my phone so I can see what you guys are saying. There. And I'll put that up here so that I can see the live chat. Okay, there. YouTube Live is pretty cool. Yeah, I told my wife yesterday the way I know way too small. Okay, hang on. How's that? See what that looks like. I told my wife yesterday at the rate my channel is growing, which is about 40 subscribers every 24 hours. I'm hoping that I should be able to. I should be able to. Need to mute this. Okay, there we go. Let's go. There we go. Is that better? Yeah, there we go. Okay. I should be able to. I should be at my 1,000 subscribers by the end of next week, I would think. We'll see. So yeah, this is what I'm looking at here, and it's got last name, first name, all this information here, and see, like this one says drowned young man. This is going to make this so much easier for me to research these. But see, this one is hunting accident, shooting accident. See, and this is the Midland Sun newspaper, and this is the Midland Republican. And you'll notice they came out on the same day, and probably, yeah, and actually this one, interestingly enough, where was it? I lost it now. See this? This says death date 1907, 1908. Very interesting. But what I'll do is I'll look up both newspapers and I'll read both stories, and they will have stark contrast, I bet. I mean, it'll be two completely different stories. It's almost like one person interviewed somebody that wasn't even there that heard about the story, and then the other person interviewed the person that was there that pulled the trigger. You know, it's a really crazy thing. It's like a couple of weeks ago I did a live stream at the cemetery, and it was at the graves of a man and his wife. His wife had died, and one newspaper reported that he died at the funeral, in the cemetery, when he saw the casket come around the corner. And then the other newspaper said that he died at his home, or at his daughter's home, actually. And so it's like, man, what in the world? It's two completely different stories. But so some of these don't really give much information at all. But look at this True Aldrich. I wonder where he's buried at. That's a Civil War veteran. I have not heard that name, so I'll have to. That'll be an interesting one to look up, just because I'm interested in that. So. What's Nothing Edited up to today? It's I think a whopping 9 degrees out here. Pretty cold. It was -5 when we woke up. I woke the kids up early and we went to breakfast, and it was really cold. It's probably the coldest day we've had so far this year. So I'm sure you guys probably got some decent weather down there. I heard my mom said that it was cold down there earlier this week, though. Oh, see this one right here. Main Street fire disaster. There was there was a lot of that. There was 1916. That might be a good story. That's kind of like one of the biggest things that happened around here, that everybody talks about, because there was so much loss in that fire, and actually there's been multiple fires down Main Street since then. So that might be kind of interesting to do a story on that. Don't like the cold. What are you calling cold, though? I mean, what's cold? 30, 40, 60 degrees? You've been up since 6. Oh, yeah. That's what time I woke up. Actually, funny story. My wife was just in here a little bit ago. I wake up pretty consistently, like between 4:30 and 6 o'clock in the morning, almost every day, no matter what. No alarm clock or anything. And my wife last night, she told me she had to go to Gladwin for work today, and I said, "Oh, okay." Well, this morning I woke up. It was 6:01, and she's usually gone by 5:30 or so. She's usually left the house by then. And when I looked at the time, I rolled back over and I looked and seen somebody in bed. Oh, she's still here. And I thought, well, that must be one of the kids. One of the kids came and crawled in bed with me. And I had looked over and I said, nope, that's her. And I said, hey, don't you think you have to go to work today? She says, what day is it? And she's the one that's supposed to keep me straight all the time. But yeah. What day is it? I said, Friday? You told me you had to go to Gladwin this morning. Oh my God. Oh man, it's so funny. That usually that I'm the one that happens to. But oh, Remy, you're a pest. You know what? Why don't you go lay down over there? Go lay down. Find something to do. Yeah, that was crazy. It was 26 here last week, 44 now. 44. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty cold for that far south. Yeah, pretty crazy. Oh, this Andrew Allen. He's one of the first settlers in Homer Township. See, that says at Homer. He was one of the first settlers at Homer Township, and actually he gave Homer Township the property where the first township hall was built. That's kind of a neat little story too. Lumber explosion. Charles Allen. Oh, I'm actually working on this story right now. I have to locate 2 of the graves, but that's going to be an interesting story too. Worst feeling ever. Yeah, it really is. But if you work with good people, then like something that where I work, if I could call my coworkers and say, hey, can you hang out for an extra half hour or whatever? Because I woke up late or whatever, it works out pretty good that way. But sometimes you don't have that ability. Like if she would have woken up at 8 o'clock this morning instead of 6, she would have been screwed. She had to be almost an hour away by 9 o'clock when her first patient showed up. So yeah. Oh, let's see. I don't know what this. Oh, that must be this says jury verdict that there was a lawsuit after this explosion. That's going to be really interesting. I think you guys are going to enjoy that. Anybody that's watching, because that's a very interesting story. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Long obituary, James Allen. Measles, blood poisoning, pneumonia. This is very interesting to look at. Apoplexy, soldier and teacher. Very interesting to look at. Give me my 100 plus temps.
any day over this mess. You know, I don't mind 85, 80, 90. 90 is not bad. But boy, if it's 90 and it's super super humid, I'm not all about that. Look at, here's a drowning. Aura Mae Allison. Now, this is drowned in the Salt River. I believe I've heard the story of this girl. Let's see. She would have been, oh, it doesn't say. It doesn't say how old she was. I'll have to do some digging on that one. But I think I may have heard this story, and you guys may enjoy this a little bit. Sorry, apparently I can't write and talk at the same time. So I think when I was in high school, there was some kids that may have heard about this girl that drowned in the. I once had a coworker who called me at home every Friday wanting me to come in early so he could leave early, but he was over the time cards. Never fixed it when I got overtime. So oh geez, really? Yeah, that's kind of a dick move. Wow. So oh man, this is the Salt River. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of a different story. When I was in high school, though, there was a group of kids that heard about a woman drowning here in Midland, and they decided that they were going to make this big, elaborate story of how they went for a walk down a trail along the river and saw a ghost, and it was like apparently this. I mean, everybody in the whole school heard about it, and most people had seen the video apparently, and I never did get to see the video, but it was quite the dreamt up thing though. And I have actually looked for a story of a girl that drowned in that river, and now I'm reading this. This says the Salt River, which is actually, this says lived in North Bradley. It's actually Coleman. The river I was thinking of is the Pine River. So, not the same, but that'll be an interesting story, though, I'm sure. We'll have to look that up. The interesting thing is, back in the early days of Midland, they didn't have swimming pools and stuff like that. So, if you were a kid and you knew how to swim, or if you wanted to learn how to swim, you went down to the river to swim. Rivers were pretty shallow around here. There's some pictures of, like 40 or 50 people swimming in a spot in the river where I probably couldn't touch, and it would be over my head. The Dow plant put in a stone dam. It's just like a wall of stones, about 6 foot high or so, and it just slows the water down so that the river fills up more. So because they were pulling water out of the river for cooling and whatnot, process water and stuff like that, make steam for a lot of years. They don't do that anymore. In fact, probably about 10 years ago, I was on a project where they pulled a lot of that piping out of the river. In fact, they even pulled the pump out of the pump house. So, but yeah, so there was a lot of drownings back then because you would go down to the river to learn how to swim, and that water was moving so fast. Even if you were an adult, if you got swept off your feet, a lot of adults didn't know how to swim back then. So, and it seems really weird to me to not know how to swim, because I was never really taught how to swim. We just learned how to swim. By going over to our cousins and stuff and swimming in the pool all the time and just being in the water, we just learned, I don't really remember. I guess maybe one year we may have gone to some sort of swimming lesson, but I don't really remember that all that well. So sorry, I just bought these new socks today and I'm trying to get used to them. So these types of videos might get you a hell of a lot of views. I watch a channel and all the guy does is tell stories, shows a pic here and there, but has over 5 million subs. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. The last few that I've done, and maybe I'm not doing them right. Maybe I need to kind of reinvent the way I'm doing these videos. Maybe I need to do a little more editing and stuff with these. I've been trying to keep them as shorts or something like that, but the last few that I've done, I've only gotten like 40 or maybe 50 views, but I think they'll catch on. I think maybe I should do a little bit of editing and add a little spice to them, but I have liked the way I've done the last few that I've done. So, yeah, whatever. I actually worked with a guy that couldn't swim and still can't swim. He's in his 70s. He went to Vietnam, and he said that if it wasn't for the guy walking behind him, he'd be dead today. He never would have shot a bullet or smoked a cigarette in Vietnam. They went to cross a river, and he lost his footing and fell, and that was it. He said that guy grabbed me up and pulled me out of the water, and if he hadn't done that, I'd have drowned right there. Mr. Ballin is the channel. Check him out and see what he does. Yeah. I'll have to check him out. I'll have to check it out and see if I can pick up on a little trick or two or something. I try not to do that because my metal detecting channel that I was doing for a while, I started to kind of pick up on some of what the other channels were doing, and I wanted to better my videos to give my viewers a little better experience. And somebody started calling me out on being a copycat. So I said, you know what, piss on it. I'm not even going to deal with it anymore. I quit. I quit doing the metal detecting videos. So it's hard enough to do one YouTube channel, let alone trying to do a second one. It's just too hard to do two, where you're trying to put out content to entertain people, So you like my videos? Well, I appreciate that. I put a lot of work into them, so hopefully somebody likes them at least. Pleasant Valley News. That's weird. Huh. Septicemia. Huh. Wonder what that is. Never heard of that before. Drowned in Chippewa River. Lived and born in Illinois. So that's another thing too, is you see a lot of people that maybe they came here to visit or something, and they went swimming and drowned. And this person that says lived and born in Illinois, it's possible that their body may have been taken back to Illinois to be buried. I actually have my second great grandfather, his I don't know, what would it be, his sister or his half sister, I think. Yeah, sepsis would be a blood infection, but what is septicemia? That's really an interesting thing. anyways, my second great grandfather, he put dynamite in the oven to dry it, and it blew up and it killed a little girl. And they actually did. They took her body all the way back to Indiana to bury it. And I actually found her memorial on Find a Grave, and they didn't know what her first name was, so it was just Unknown Harness. Harness was the last name. So I sent the person that owned the memorial a message and told them, this is who it is and this is what I know about the story and all that stuff. And they updated it, so that was kind of nice. But my brother jumped in the river. My mom pushed me in to save him. I did. Then when I got him out, I pushed him back in to prove a point. That's funny. Don't let the haters stop you from doing what you love. Put it out there and tell them that. Yeah. Well, like I said, this right here is really where my heart is. I like to metal detect. I really do. I think that the quality of video I was putting out was not good enough for viewership, really, content. So I just stopped doing it. It's a lot of work. It really is a lot of work to try to carry around the camera footage or camera equipment along with all your other stuff, and come back home and you're tired and you don't want to do anything. I really didn't have time to sit down and do a bunch of editing and stuff, so I just said the heck with it. I'd rather just go out and find my stuff and bring it in here and put it on the shelf and call it good. So, let's see. Where was that one at again? Oh, yeah. Richard L. Torfer. That's not a common name. It's not. Oh, you know what? I may have seen. I may have seen that last name before in the cemetery. Maybe he is buried here. It's possible. 1911 to 1922, so he was 11 years old. And it's interesting because you literally looking at these, you will see I don't know what that is either. Yeah. You will see people of all ages drown. I mean, and probably more adults than yeah, don't edit. Yeah, if I didn't, so my metal detecting videos, if I didn't edit them, every single one would be probably over an hour long, or maybe a little longer, and it would be so horrible. It would get about 2 seconds of view time from each person. That's about it. Yeah. So. Yeah, let's see. Died at Smith's Crossing. That's a little. There's a lot of these, like Smith's Crossing or North Bradley, or those are areas within Midland County. Used to be little towns, I guess, if you wanted to call them that. I wonder what that means. Burr. Maybe burned. Oh, buried with infant. Buried with infant. I wonder how old she was. 1900. Probably could have been maybe childbirth was the reason of her death. Died in Detroit, buried in Saginaw. Yeah. Killed in accident right there. Henry Hart. Oh, so like one of the first pages of this document is these abbreviations. Henry Hart Anderson, killed in accident. Nephew of R. Hart, which I think is Ray Hart, who is part of the Hart family, which is all I do for edit is join two or more parts together. Yeah, right. The Hart family, Judge Hart, he was a judge here for many years. And I believe his son was a judge here and his grandson was a judge here. And I don't know if there was 4 generations of judges or just 3. Oh, 1924. I might not be able to find that one. Might not be able to find that newspaper, but we'll check that out. 1924, that's possibly a vehicle accident, I guess. That one might be interesting. 1924, I need to write that. Okay. Almost bought you a ring light. Oh, yeah, I actually ordered a ring light today. One that'll clip right on my laptop. I think it'll help with the quality of video here for sure. In fact, I don't know. Do you notice that the picture is kind of hazy or no? Because to me, on my laptop, it looks hazy. But when I was using my phone, it looked like it was really good quality. So what? What? Why don't you go find something to do? Go occupy yourself. Huh? Hmm? Go work on something. Wish I knew how to remove some content because I wasted a good video when I lost it and started cussing like a smashing my finger. Oh, it's really not that hard. You can in your in your video editing software, you can snip and delete. That's funny though. Phone was really good. Laptop is a little hazy. Yeah. My phone, obviously it's an iPhone 13 Pro Max. It's got like the best camera available on a smartphone. Other than maybe a couple of the Androids have better cameras. So yeah, the phone camera is really good. But this laptop camera just sucks, and it's because of the light. The laptop cameras are not great anyways, but yeah, so let's see. Died in Detroit, buried in Midland. Full front page when she died. That's interesting. From Listowel, Canada. These poor people had 2 infants die in 2 years, 3 months and 5 months old. Terrible. You agree with Cassie? Yeah. Yeah, she Okay. Yeah, I've seen that message before. I don't know what the hell it means, but let's see. Memorial poem. Former resident of Midland. This one killed train Saginaw. That's what that means. Most of my videos are done on an old Android cell phone. Stopped letting me text on it, so now it's nice. This is something that you see a lot of right here too, is this killed by a train, because there was so much. This is only got a first initial, so this is gonna do a little bit of digging, but killed train Saginaw. That is 1903. There was a lot of train tracks and stuff around here. Midland was a logging hub. Not quite as big as Saginaw was, but there was a lot of trains around here, and a lot of the switchmen and stuff got killed over the years, just doing whatever, jumping from car to car, and they fell off. Or one guy was hanging his hand out the side of the train, and a tree branch or something took his arm off, and he bled out. Just a really, really gruesome time. Some of these, and I guess it's no different than stuff today, but in a world where everything revolves around safety everywhere, it's really, really I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's crazy to see some of the things that these people went through. Sometimes it's you just can't believe it, It's like the video I did on Peter Glasgow. How in the heck does that happen? Guy lives for 84 years, worked on the railroad for God knows how long, and he goes out getting run over by a rail car. 84 years old. Crazy. Streetcar accident in Detroit. Now, that's not one that I will write down, because I like to be able to go to camera I bought in 2004. It still works. I'm cheap, not buying $high stuff to make a video. Yeah, right. I like to be able to go to the place where people were killed, or where the accident happened. I think it kind of adds to the story a little bit. Excuse me. And I'm not driving to Detroit to make a video. So, died of drowning right there. Another one. Jeez. He was only 8 years old, right? Yeah. Harlow Armand. $1909. Drown. There's a suicide. That's the first one I've seen there of that. There's a story about a murder suicide from like 1878 or something like that I found. And I'm trying to do some research on where exactly it happened because it's a wild story, a really wild story. It'll be an interesting one when I finally actually do get all the information and everything. And that'll probably be a longer video. I'll probably do a longer video on that one, but those sound like great video content to me. Yes, it does add to the story. Yeah, I think it does. It's when I can go to the exact spot where, you know, a house burned down, or when I went to the exact spot where Peter Glasgow was run over by the train. It's I just like to be able to show you guys where that happened, kind of explain, you know, how things happen. And I think that people can visualize it a little better that way. Yeah. Daughter shot by father. Ooh. Really? Well, that's a good one. She was only 4. And see, it just says child Arnell. So I'm going to have to really look for. Oh, I know this. I know this story, actually. Yeah, that was up in Beaverton. He went crazy. He was a drunk and he was abusive. And I think he killed his wife also. And I was looking to see where they were buried. And there's no burial record for them, I don't think. It's really weird. It's a really weird thing. There's nothing. But I'm going to look into that still. And maybe I can call someone up in Gladwin County and they can hopefully maybe shed some light on that. I would like to find out about that, because what a wild story. Maybe when I figure everything out on that, excuse me, too, I'll do a story on that, and that'll be a good one. Died of cancer in 1905. Isn't that? When you think of cancer, it just doesn't. To me, it doesn't seem like people should have been dying of cancer in 1905, but seems like cancer would be a much newer disease than that. It seems like a long time ago for them to have actually known what cancer was, you know. It's not an old graveyard like I'd like to video, but I'm not going alone. It's in a bad part of town by the river. Don't want to join the. Yeah, I'll tell you what. There's I was down in Saginaw County at Brady Hill Cemetery, and that is in a rough area of town, right by the river. I know what you're talking about. But what do you want? Yeah, I would like to work in that cemetery. Maybe fix it up some. It is. When I pulled in there, I was on the phone with my wife, and I pulled in there and I just looked around. I said, "Oh, a whole team of people could work in there for every summer for 10 years straight." And I don't know if you would get to everything. It's rough. It's the oldest cemetery in the city of Saginaw. And it just is really rough. What's an octogenarian? You see this here? Ingersoll pioneer, Octogenarian. 1835 to 1915. Is that like she lived for 80 or more years? Let's see what that means. Person who is 80 to 89 years old. Called it. Called that one. Yeah. Struck by a car right there, 1926. That one's going to be a hard one to find. I think the newspapers I have access to are only up to 1922. So, Mother of Seth Marcy. Lengthy obituary. Suspected suicide. John Austin, 1885. Yeah, maybe we'll try that one. Oh, I know this story too. I do know this story. Leanne, hi, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. What's going on? I know that story, that John Austin suspected suicide. That's another wild one. I won't tell you the story right now because I am going to do a video on that if I can figure everything out. But yeah, that one is crazy. That one's very interesting. Look at, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. I'm not even out of the A's yet. Just about to the end of the A's here. But Leanne, for you just getting in here right now, I'm going through. This is the Midland Obituary Index, 1872 to 1927. And I'm trying to find people that had accidents or, unusual deaths for my stories, both on here and on TikTok. I've been kind of seeing that your dog has not been doing well. That's too bad. I hope that everything goes all right for her. And you guys, have you gotten any information that's good information? Or I saw that she was on a transfusion or something the other day, or maybe I can't remember if it was a boy or a girl. Here's 2 more suicides. That's interesting. Unknown name. Very weird. Drowned in river again, 1925. So that one will be a hard one to find. Mailman or something must be here. She had autoimmune hemolytic anemia. Her immune system was attacking her own red blood cells and blasting them apart. Really? She had 2 blood transfusions. Oh, wow, that's good. Improving even. Wow. That's an interesting. That's very interesting. That's unusual. What, do you see him on the Ring? See him on the Ring doorbell? That's probably my my wheel for my hoist, the last one that I need. If it wasn't so cold out today, that's what I would be doing. Is I'd be out there putting my vise on my bench so I could do those. 62% survival rate. Wow. Sounds like she's doing a little bit better anyways. That's good. Very good. Killed by auto in Detroit. Another Detroit one. That's something that you see a lot too. Yeah, right. Something you see a lot too is people that lived in this area died in Detroit because the rail, the train, you could get on a rail car and go to Detroit for like $7 or something like that. And like my grandpa said, he rode the train to Detroit one time. It was like a half-day trip to get there and then a half day to come back. So a lot of people would go to Detroit for whatever, try to find work or other stuff, you know. And this guy was shot in Washington, D.C. in 1927. Huh. Lodge resolution. Interesting. Bright's disease. That's I think that's the disease that Abraham Lincoln had. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember exactly what he had, but nope. Bright's disease is called something else now. What is it? What is it? Wow. Oh, something to do with the kidneys. I don't remember. Waiting on a package now. They failed to deliver it last night. Said they couldn't find my corner lot. Oh, Lord. I got to go see what the heck is going on because apparently they're not leaving yet. Nope, it's not my wheel. Marfan syndrome. That's right. I knew there was something, and it was a weird name. And couldn't remember what exactly it was, but I know what this is. It's not my wheel. And yeah, for some reason the guy was sitting down at the end of the driveway for forever. But I ordered this for my son because he is a freak about the planets right now. So I'm gonna have to unroll this and flatten it out so we can put that on the wall, or we can put it on his desk underneath a piece of plexiglass or something. He's gonna love that. Got all the planets and all their moons and a bunch of other stuff on it. I think it's called like a HR and RH diagram or something like that. But he's gonna love that. Should probably go let the dog back in before she dies of hypothermia. Chronic bronchitis. Marfan syndrome. That's right. Yeah, I think that's why his eyes looked like they were so sunk back into his head all the time, because he had some sort of disease. I think that's what the Marfan syndrome was. Typhoid. Killed by car near Lapeer, 1924. It's a little too late. Trying to find some stuff before 1922 because that's when I can get a hold of the newspapers from then pretty easily. So buried in Chesaning. I've been to the Chesaning cemetery too. Actually had a guy contact me and might want me to do some work in that cemetery. There's a guy buried in the Chesaning cemetery that was part of the Barnum and Bailey circus that came here back in the late 1800s. It might have even been like 1902. It could have been just into the 1900s. And he was bathing in the river because that's what they did, and he drowned. And he had only been an American citizen for like a month or less. So pretty interesting. Burned to death. William Baker. Went to school with a kid named William Baker. (1916). It's pretty old too. Well, he wasn't pretty old. He was, 54? Yeah. Here's another Main Street fire disaster. Oh, I bet you that. Oh, it's the same guy. I'm a genius, guys. Yeah, I'm full of useless information too. All right, we'll see you later when you get home. Let's see. Wife of Cooley Ball. The Ball family is Benjamin Ball. Let's see. Amelia. One of the Balls. What was her name? Started with a C. Might have been Carolyn, or I can't remember now. She was a daughter of an American Revolutionary War vet, and she's buried here in Midland. So that's kind of cool. this dropsy. It's I've seen that a few times too. I looked it up one time and I don't remember what it is, but very interesting disease name also. Drowned in the Tittabawassee River, John Banks, 1916. I tried to look up this. When I look in the newspapers, I can index for certain words. And I looked up drowned, and there was so many other uses of the word. I didn't search a whole lot. But now that I'm finding these and they are attached to a name, it makes it a little bit easier to search for them later. 1916. 1916 was right around the time that this area was really starting to explode with a lot of people. So dropsy is edema. Oh, okay. Yep. My handyman is here, going to leave this running. Oh, well, thanks. Probably from congestive heart failure. Oh, that's interesting. Edema. Oh, edema is bruising or something like that, right? Trying to remember some of the things I learned in EMT classes. Kind of forget that stuff over the years. Goodyear Cemetery. Where the heck's that? Swelling. Yeah. What's bruising is a hematoma. Excess fluid. Yeah, right. Well, that's what happens when you have congestive heart failure, right? Look at this. Mrs. James Barden leaves husband and 8 children. Oh, wow. That poor man. How dare that woman die? Bruises. Yeah, that's what I thought. Sometimes ecchymosis. Car accident. 1921. George Berry. Mrs. George Berry. What year was that? 1921. Yeah. Keep on looking. Kind of hoping that we'd get, 5 or 6, maybe 7 people in here. Trying to boost my watch time. My wife said that she actually got a notification today, but I know a lot of people have not been getting notifications. So, drowned near Coleman. Asa Behringer. I've heard that name before. Oh, no, not Behringer. Behringer. That's something you got to watch out for, too. 1894. Drown. Buried in Unionville. Oh, wow. Died in Sanford, obituary, a.k.a. Burns. George Barron. That name doesn't sound familiar. Stomach trouble. Brother of George Berry. Okay. Died Corning. That's weird. Drowned in river at Oxbow. Henry Bartle. Yeah, I've heard this story before. Oxbow will be hard to get to. Especially if it's the Oxbow in the river that's no longer there. John Bartenbacher. That's the guy that we replaced his headstone this last October. That I posted a video on my YouTube of replacing his headstone. That was a pretty good experience. I really enjoyed that. In fact, I've got two other Civil War veterans that one of them is a long ways away, but I would like to work on getting things put in place for him to get a new headstone, even if I don't replace it myself. But then there's one that I was just told about the other day that he was buried in an unmarked grave and still has an unmarked grave. And so I'm going to try to get started on that also. I've got so many projects going right now. It's insane, but hopefully within the next week, I'll get this sewing machine done that I've been working on. I've got an 1883 Singer treadle sewing machine that I'm working on restoring. And when I get that done, I'm not doing it ever again. It's been a very, very neat project. I've enjoyed it, but I can say I did it now. I don't need to do it again. And I don't know if I'm going to sell it or if I'm just going to keep it. I think I might keep it. I'll put it over here in the corner. It'll look really cool over there, I think. So, typhoid fever. Old Judge George Parcher Bartlett. Harriet Sinclair. Lucinda Barton. Yeah, she was the second white baby born in the county. This Lucinda Barton. That was back when, well, let's see, 1845. That's before. I mean, that's very early in Midland County. She was born before some of the. In fact, I think her mother and father were the first permanent settlers of Midland County. So. Well, if nobody's watching, I'm probably going to shut down my live stream at least. Continue doing this stuff, but I'm going to probably shut down my live stream. You only get so much time to stream with StreamYard, and if I'm not getting any view time by doing it, then, well, I'm probably just going to shut her down. So, anyways, yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut her down, and we'll see you guys later. Thanks for coming, and thanks for watching, although it may have been somewhat painful. Bye.